Welcome to Active Sports TV, LAC News, as you rock out with your host, Active. And oh boy, we got an explosive episode for y'all where we give you this LAC coverage, post-game recap, highlight reaction, in my opinion, on what's going on with our Los Angeles Clippers. And this one is going to be explosive. You not want to click off of this one, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be unfiltered and straight blunt. Listen, Clipper fans, we have major issues, and I'm going to unpack each and every last one of them. So hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up so we can get this in the algorithm, connect with all Clipper fans, and get into this LAC news content. Now, we got problems, man. I'm asking myself, is Ty Lue the guy? Will Ty Lue get us deep into the postseason? And then we have even bigger questions, Clipper fans, that need to be answered. Realistically, honestly, keeping the delusion out of it because we're Clipper fans. And if you are a real Clipper fan, you can't help but be delusional at times. If you are not, then I really question your fandom. Period, point blank. And that's just what it is with Active Sports TV. Now, keeping the delusion out of it, are we a healthy enough team to even be contenders amongst the postseason? Ask yourself this. As all of these things that I break down to you, as I unpack to you, answer these questions for me in the comment section, of course. Now, I say those two things because it's a lot of things being talked about amongst the Clipper fan base. We're going to consider this segment of the episode Hot Topic Clipper Talk, where these two questions are coming up amongst the conversation over and over and over again. And I'm sad to say this is a year-to-year conversation that never ends. And yet, I believe as a collective, us as Clipper fans have not gotten any closer to answering those two questions. Because when you watch a game like tonight, the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Milwaukee Bucks, we fall short to Milwaukee Bucks 116 to 110. And you see, first, right off the back, our starting lineup with Chris Dunn, Amir Coffey, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and Zubac. You already are scratching your head and you're having dumbfounded looks upon your face, as I just demonstrated. We're going to have a 3-guard lineup, small ball lineup, to start the game against the Milwaukee Bucks, who has Brook Lopez, Giannis Antetokounmpo, now Kyle Kuzma, Damian Leonard, and I think, what was his name? Gary Trent or Trent. This is a long pause, big lineup, pause. And this is what our coach is putting on the floor against that. It has you scratching your head. Now, let's get into the details. We do know, as I got into it, our front office, allowing our players to participate in these, events that's meaningless, that seems to do more harm than good. Yes, more harm than good, because we get Norman Powell to put on a hell of a performance and put up a 40-point performance before the All-Star break. We're thinking we're getting the best Norman Powell coming off the All-Star break, knowing that he was, snuck for the, his spot in the All-Star, because he should have been an All-Star, especially with LeBron James doing that lame-o stuff, laying last minute pulling out. That spot should have been Norman Powell. Everybody knows it. We've already put that out there, but this does not make us look good, Norman. How we advocate for you to get in the All-Star game and you injured, and then you don't even like come out to the media and express and let us know, hey man, even if I was able to participate in the All-Star game, most likely I wouldn't, because I'm dealing with knee wellness. So I'm going to sit this one out, and I wouldn't have participated in the 3-point shooting contest. So now we're questioning, okay, did you get injured during the 3-point shooting contest? Because if that's the case, we seen your performance in that, and we root for you, but you could have set that one out, buddy. That wasn't a good look. Plus, it did more harm than good. Obviously, you can't even participate in the first game in the second half of the season due to participating in a 3-point shooting contest. You can't make this up. This new NBA, bro, look, it's quite disgusting. We have been the poster child of low managing. This is just what it is. No getting around it. So when things like this transpire within our organization, the media have every right to have a field day with this. And it leads me to ask the question that I asked earlier. Are we even a healthy enough team to be contenders in the postseason? Leaving the delusion out of it, Clip City family and fans. Let's just be real. Kawhi still on minute restriction within this game. We're going to talk about the fourth quarter, how Kawhi was starting to get a rhythm after having a terrible shooting display starting out this game. We're going to get into the highlights and all of that. Give you some visual content and all that. But hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Let's cook. Let's let every Clipper fan know that Active Sports TV is on the scene. And let's get this LAC news, this Clipper content to all of them, so that we can build this community. And let's build this channel, man, and make this community, man, make this pop over here on this YouTube scene. Now, diving back into what I was saying, man. Frustrating all the way around. We had a small ball lineup. Norman Powell's out. James Harden usage rate goes up, which is not a good thing for Clipper fans. And in James Harden's case, definitely not good for him in the long run and heading towards the postseason. We have to end the second half of the season on the highest note that we possibly can to try to move up the standings and get to those top 3 spots within the Western Conference, which is not going to be easy, being occupied by the Denver Nuggets, the Houston Rockets, the Los Angeles Lakers. We cannot leave room for error, man. And I think the call tonight, Ty Lue putting in Amir Coffey over Derrick Jones Jr. in Norman Powell's absence was horrible and disgusting. and it has me questioning what Ty Lue whole overall end goal is. If you're trying to establish chemistry, why are you taking Derrick Jones Jr. in and out the lineup now? I understand the switcheroo of Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. For situational purposes, and we dealing with you know an explosive point guard, someone that needs to be contained, or someone that a good defensive team with a good point of attack defender that's going to give James Harden some problems. Maybe relieve James Harden off the ball, play him off the ball a bit. I get that between Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. What I do not understand for the life of me, when you're going against Twin Towers, pretty much, Giannis on a minute restriction or not, this man is a beast. He can play 15 minutes and put up 30 points. You do not put out a lineup of Amir Coffey, James Harden, and Chris Dunn as your front court. I mean, as your back court. That's just something that you don't do. And I can only imagine how Derrick Jones may have felt hearing that, knowing that all of what he's been producing for us in the starting role, how he's been anchoring that defense, he's been improving his offense. It's just no excuse for him not to be getting more minutes than he had got in this game. Amir Coffey, 30 plus minutes. 30 plus minutes for Amir Coffey. Now, this is not to kill the brewmaster. That is not the case. But we have to be real here. We got to use logic. What purpose could Amir Coffey serve in the starting lineup that Derrick Jones don't do just as good? Amir Coffey is not that consistent as an offensive player to get 30 minutes. And he showed that in tonight's game. I'm going to run down the stats. Also, Kawhi Leonard. We need to talk about Kawhi Leonard and the way he looks out there. Now, it was a nice, you know, game at the end, seeing Kawhi start to see, the three ball fly. He started getting rhythm, shooting 50% from the 3-point line. But the, signature mid range, guaranteed buckets is coming, very, very difficult for Kawhi lately. Him sliding his feet, keeping up with the defenders. We're starting to see seeing opponents get past Kawhi, some with ease. I'm very, very, very worried about that. Hesitating to elevate things, just the small detailed things with Kawhi has to be really, really over examined, because at the end of the day, you never know when Kawhi can walk to that bench and not come back out on the floor for whatever reason. And I'm gonna tell you, in this game, Kawhi had they made a steal, him and Chris Dunn on a fast break. He then lead out on an entry pass, goes up in an awkward layup, reverse layup, comes down a certain type of way, and I immediately seen him, make some type of motion, some type of, grimace, saying that, that hurt it. You know what I mean? That it actually shown some type of effect to falling, and he did not fall, but just elevating and coming back down on his feet in an awkward way. So, him going against contact now, um, him blowing past guys, all of these things, Kawhi is very limited. Like we have to, and we're in the second half. We're already 50 plus games past. If Kawhi is not playing back to backs, I'm questioning the ramp up. Like how could he possibly be in postseason shape or be Kawhi like and ready for us if he's not, showing us he can put up these, back to back 20 plus performances and doing it, with ease without him, being, managed on loan management. I mean, minutes management. Um, so on and so forth. So that's a big cloud that's hanging around us that's pissing me off that we all know that we have to deal with, but it's getting really frustrating, man. Is he healthy or is he not? That's the question that I'm sure all Clipper fans want to know. And if they have the answer, they need to just tell us and quit dancing around this thing with this minute restriction thing. And he played 34 minutes just the other game ago, against Memphis, and then turn around and you're taking them out in crucial times in the fourth quarter, and then putting him out, like sitting him out for 2 minutes and put him in after the lead get diminished. It's just questionable decision making by Ty Lue throughout this game. And this is why I asked, do we press the red button, Clipper fans? Are we, should we be in full panic right now of what we seeing coming off the All-Star break with all Los Angeles Clipper fans? Now, also, let's address what some Clipper fans are talking about. I think this is quite idiotic, and Clipper fans who actually discussing this or feel some type of way about James Harden and trying to make it seem like James Harden is the reason why we're having issues or these games that we're losing is James Harden fault. Like, you're obviously not watching the game in full, and I have to ask, what other options do we have outside of James Harden? Kawhi is being limited on minute restrictions, having on and off nights, not having Kawhi like performance. And we all know, even Kawhi at his best, he's not a creator for others. He does not like to be on the ball to create. So, who's going to run the offense outside of James Harden? And everyone, this is one of the hot topic, but I would call this a done topic of the day. Everybody is now considering Ben Simmons as the savior point guard for the Los Angeles Clippers. That's going to make everything click in Ty Lue's system, and he's going to make the Clippers efficient. And like, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Ben Simmons, in coming here, it was properly noted to all of us throughout the media and within our front office that Ben Simmons is only here to do limited things. Ben Simmons is not asked to do a lot for the Los Angeles Clippers. Ben Simmons do not want to do a lot for the Clippers. He does not want to do a lot, period. That is not Ben Simmons anymore. Ben Simmons is here to fill in the holes, to relieve James Harden for ball handling duties, and to help along the front court and take advantage of being a ducking spot and finishing lobs and creating second chance opportunities. That's Ben Simmons' role. That's what he's here to do. Nothing more, nothing more. This ridiculous bull that's coming out of everybody's mouth talking about Ben Simmons need to be our starting point guard and James Harden needs to go to the bench. What type of drug are you smoking, bro? Don't ever say that again. James Harden is the reason that Ivica Zubac has had the most double doubles in his career. In his career, folks. Also, the highest assist percentage in his career as well. Norman Powell having an all-star like season. Derrick Jones Jr. improving his offensive game. Chris Dunn showing out, improving that he's a uh, top defender in the league. Amir Coffey, all of these players who having these career-like seasons is all contribute to one man running the offense. And that's why James Harden usage rate is quite ridiculous. And this is going to be our problem. This is what's going to cost us in the postseason because I can see it. What do you think other coaches around the league is doing? They're scheming around it. Now, Ben Simmons does allow us to have another ball handler, but he with one thing good that Ben brings, you have to fit around his flaws. And teams do know that Ben Simmons is not a willing shooter. He's not a willing shooter. He has no drive to create offense for himself. Therefore, he becomes a liability on the offensive end, and that then do what for our two stars who we're trying to free up to be dominant. Teams shrink the floor, and then they can then double Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, getting them off the ball, making other players create for themselves, living with the results. And I'm telling you, Clipper fans, our role players are not showing that they're good enough to step up at those moments, at those times, consistently, and make teams re-scheme around them and playing Kawhi and James Harden different. So that's the reason why we cannot play Ben Simmons and we cannot play Ben as a starting point guard in with the Los Angeles Clippers whatsoever. It's just not going to work. Plus, who's going to relieve Kawhi on the offensive end when it comes to creating for other players? Norman does not create. Kawhi is not a creator. So who's going to be the ball handler who create for others? They're going to be playing 4-on-5 with Ben Simmons. Stop it. So let's not do that. Let's not disrespect the James Harden, his leadership this season, him getting us to the 6 in the West without Kawhi Leonard, getting all of those players to career highs. It's just that was just the stupid topic of the day. I'm gonna have to say that was the dumbest topic of the day. But it had to be addressed. Moving on, let's get into the good, bad, and the ugly, man. The ugly thing, Clipper fans, man. This part of the episode where we get into my thoughts on the ugly and the bad and the good. That's the way I do it. I like to get bad news and stuff over with. One of the ugliest things about this team is that we cannot spread the floor. And part of the reason that we brought in Bogey, and I do like Bogey, speaking on uh Bogdanovich, he had a hell of a performance, putting up 15 points, shooting well behind the arc. But without our threat of Norman Powell, um, really wasn't too effective, right? And him sometimes, I believe he do a disservice because I believe he should work outside and then work himself in, and sometimes he turns down open 3 point shots to try to dribble off the line, get a better shot, or try to create for others, which he does have good creating ability. I would say next to Ben Simmons and James Harden, Bogdanovich will probably be our next ball handler creator that does it with ease, with fluidity, I guess, if I said that right. But even with that being said, we don't have enough floor spacers, man. We're terrible behind the line. The 3 point shot is just not going for us this season, and I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. I don't know how, if we don't find a way to find some type of consistency from the 3 point line. We got Amir Coffee up and down, Nico Batum up and down. Even though they have the ability to occasionally hit the three, we need consistency. We need some players to be able to spread the ball and put fear in the defense to where they cannot play off of these our players and double Kawhi, double James, even double Zoo at times. That's the problem with the Visa Zubox. Zubox is seeing double teams down in the paint. Um, we're seeing that the players are playing off of Dunn. We're seeing that the defenders playing off of Derrick Jones at times. We see them players playing off of Amir Coffee. These things we have to have the defender honor, the open shot. And it's not taking place with the Los Angeles Clippers. We're bottom in the league from 3 point shooting. We need to find some way to, get more consistent at hitting those. Hopefully, Bogdanovich Bogey does that, and Kawhi Leonard playing more minutes, and Norman Powell coming back. That improves that, but that was one of the biggest reasons why we lost tonight's game. Just terrible behind the line. Um, just terrible. Moving on from that, poor rebounding, ball watching. That's one of the bad things of the day. Um, Sitting there, not you know keeping up with your defender, allowing him. I mean, you're keeping up with your defender, allowing them to slide back door. Um, not crashing out, not boxing out, allowing second chance points. Just disgusting. Terrible closeouts, high turnover rates with this team. So it was a lot of ugly, man. Very, very lot of ugly, a lot of bad. But let's get into the good. One of the best things about our squad, we have the best defenders, I believe, in the league, point of attack defenders, and we can switch anything. Our sweet switch defense, I think, can compete with anybody in the league. That's one of the best things we got going into the postseason, and going into the second half of the season. What we did in the third quarter against the Milwaukee Bucks was probably the best display of defense I've seen this season. And we can do that, find a way to do that for 40 minutes, 48 minutes of the game. It'd be hard to beat us. Also, I believe we have great isolation players um, that can get their own shot, um, like Norman Powell, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Bogey Bogdanovich. Those players, I believe, are great ISO players. So, at in the end all be all, get out the way. We do have players that can go and get their own, but we have very few creators for others, and that does seem to stagnate the ball and work against us at times. And that heavy ISO that Ty Lue loves to run, can be very frustrating at times as well. Um, that ball pounding that James Harden loves to do. But with James Harden, he gets a little rope with me, bro. Like I said, I understand why, due to the fact of all the way he has to do. So we just got to take the bitter with the sweet with James. Let's get into these stats. Stats of the game. We got Kawhi Leonard putting up 25 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, playing 32 minutes, 2 steals, no blocks, 1 turnover, a +4 on the plus minus, 9 for 22 from the field, and was 4 for 8 from the 3 point line. So it's good to see that three ball go for Kawhi. But like I said, starting out this game, shot very poor from the field. As you see, 9 for 22. That's not Kawhi. Kawhi is damn near 50 plus every game. So it's alarming. I told you it was like a, a tweak and whatnot on a reverse layup. Hopefully, we don't get any news that's saying that he tweaked something on his knee or something like that. But I seen him, make some type of reaction towards hitting the hardwood after making that play. So that's Kawhi Leonard. Moving on to Visa Zubac, 20 points, 1 assist, 15 rebounds, another double double for Visa Zubac. Hell of a game. I believe we went. And that's another thing has to be addressed. What the hell? How the hell did not address that? Give Vavista Zubox the damn ball. I mean, Ty Lue not scheming, creating plays for that, making sure that the Vista Zubox is our second option, making sure that they don't, lose him in the offense. They got to be addressed, bro. So many things that can be considered another ugly, another bad on the day, man. So Avisa Zubox, another double double, but should have had more. Would have probably led to us beating them if we would have tried to find him in the fourth quarter. No attempts during the fourth. No attempts during the fourth quarter for Avisa Zubac is quite disgusting. It's quite disgusting. I mean, this happened time in and time out, man. And this is the Ty Lue. This is a coaching issue at this point. Excuse me. This is a coaching issue at this point. I let this out with the two questions that I asked. Please answer them in the comment section for me because maybe I'm over exaggerating, maybe I'm going over the top, but I've seen this rerun, I've seen this replay before over and over and over again, and I'm getting tired of it. I'm tired of the sequel, man. I'm just done. So 1 steal, 4 blocks for Visa Zubox. Also with 2 turnovers, was a -8 on the game. 8 for 13 from the field. Um, Fantastic performance from Visa Zubox. Just feel that we did him a disjustice, man, with not feeding the beast. When you got a game like that, how do you not touch the ball in the fourth? It's crazy. Moving on, James Harden, 24 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 39 minutes played, 1 steal, 1 block, 5 turnovers. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. 39 minutes. Unacceptable. I do agree with most Clipper fans that Ben Simmons should get more minutes to limit James Harden minutes, just not be the starter. Let's not get catered. Let's give him more minutes coming off the bench. Ben played 20 minutes. Let's give him 24. Let's give Ben 25 minutes. You know, but no, we're not gonna make Ben the starting point guard here. That's not what we're doing. We're not gonna even go down that delusional road. Like No. So, not liking the 5 turnovers from James Harden, -2 and a plus minus. A terrible, terrible shooting display. Disgusted. 8 for 21, 2 for 10. Um, Understanding what he has to do. This is how James Harden gives us a chance to win. Just not liking, you know, I'm just not liking the output that he has to keep up with. Like 10 threes, 10 threes, 20% from the 3 point line. That's god awful. James is way better than that. Hopefully he's just not exhausted. But yeah, 5 turnovers, unexcusable. Moving on to the next starter, Amir Coffee, 8 points, uh, 0 assists, 2 rebounds, 30 minutes played. Absolutely disgusting. 8 points, 30 minutes, no assists, 2 rebounds, no steals, no blocks, 1 turnover, +2. Shot the ball only 7 times. We're not winning with our shooting guard putting up that performance. We have a 20 plus performer in Norman Powell, and we're replacing that with Amir Coffee. I'm surprised we didn't get blown out. Um, 30 plus minutes when you got Derrick Jones Jr. only playing 20. You got Ben Simmons only playing 20. You got Bogut Bogdanovic only playing 20. There's no way that Amir Coffee should get more minutes than these guys. Period. Whatsoever. No way. No way. No way. Ty Lue, fix it. Moving on. Chris Dunn, 5 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 31 minutes, 6 steals, 1 block, no turnovers, +2 on the game, 2 for 5 from the field, 1 for 1 from the 3 point line. Fantastic overall game. His numbers overall, you can't look at the points and see the impact of Chris Dunn. So you gotta just bypass that. But 6 steals, 7 rebounds, point guard, no turnovers, 1 block. This man was a beast out there. Shout out to Chris Dunn. That's one person I'm never gonna argue with being in the first starting lineup. Um, I just like to see him and Derrick Jones start off the game. Give that starting unit that they have problems on the defensive end, allowing James Harden to get second chance opportunities, create for them. We know Dunn was all over the place and actually doing so with 6 steals. It would have been good to see Derrick Jones Jr. start out as a starter. I think we would have got a lot more out of Derrick Jones in that starting position, like we've been seeing as of late. But hey, Ty Lue is Ty Lue. Moving on to the bench, Nico Batum. He gets 3 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, 11 minutes played. 11 minutes played for Nico Batum to answer. 30 minutes for Amir Coffee. 11 minutes. 11 minutes for Nico. Can't make it up. Disgusting. Um, 1 steal, the no blocks, no turnovers, +2. Derrick Jones Jr. I know he had to feel some type of way. 4 points, 1 assist, 1 block. 20 minutes played, 1 steal. I mean, 1 steal, no blocks, 1 turnover, and a -10 on the game. So didn't have a good game coming off the bench. 2 for 4 from the field, 0 from 1 from the 3 point line. Derrick Jones just didn't have a Derrick Jones like game, but he definitely should have been our starter. I think that's where Ty Lue went wrong right off the bat. Ben Simmons, coming off the All Star weekend, it's what 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 20 minutes played, 1 steal, 1 block, no turnover, a -9 on the game, 3 for 3 from the field. and no attempts from the 3-point line. Um, I want Ben to be more aggressive. See, we'll see this game and say, "Oh, well, Ben, that's a good game." To me, it's not. To me, I believe -9 lets us know in the plus minus that Ben being on the floor didn't really contribute to the Clippers um, having a huge success on the offensive end of contributing towards points. That -9 show that when Ben got in the game, it was harder for us to score. These are the things that we need to pay attention to before we just jump and say, "Oh, well, he's going to be better than James Harden." No, that's not the case. Until Ben starts to be more aggressive on the offense, we cannot over exceed his duties and make him something that he's not. That's only going to kill the confidence that he has, and that's only going to limit what he can do well for us in the second half of the season and in the postseason. We got to use our common sense here. That makes no sense. So I'm looking for Ben to step it up on the offensive end. Not saying he has to take jumpers and has to take 3-point shots. I want him to drive, drive. Get to the paint, get the fouls, cause the fouls on the other end, get to the line. He shoots fantastic from the free throw line. I look at his stroke from the free throw line and I'm like, bro, you have a nice touch. Why aren't you shooting more jumpers? Why aren't you shooting the ball? His free throw shot is amazing. So if he can just find that confidence that he has at the line or he has found at the line, and somehow, some way contribute that to him, you know, doing it on the offensive end, push shots, hooks, dunks, you know what I mean, so on and so forth. That's all we need. And assist the ball, rebound the ball. That's all that we need from Ben Simmons. Bogey had a fantastic game. Look for him to start taking those open threes more. Stop running off of the initial 3-point shot. You open, take it, play outside, inside. That's my only critique to Bogdanovich. 15 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 20 minutes played, 1 steal, no blocks, 1 turnover, -11 on the game. So that'll be our stats. Let's get into the visual part of this, and we'll be wrapping this episode up. Clip City. Let's get to it. Let's go ahead and watch our boys get down versus Milwaukee Bucks. Mayor Coffee gets the start and nod.
Oftentimes for several, great pass, great play right there to get him a look at the rim.
Nice.
Let's watch the inbounds play. There's the pass from out of bounds, in turn finding DJ going right to the bucket for the dunk. And then Bogdanovich in transition catches, tees it up immediately from behind the 3-point line. Nice pitch ahead.
Well, Green showed the ball, got the defender to jump, but then he just made it easy on him to recover.
Bogdanovich ladles it to
like
Simmons,
the
who lays it
game.
in. Clippers will have the.
Now I like the 2-man game between Bogut and Ben Simmons in this game. That's one thing I didn't speak of. They had a nice little thing that they were developing.
Ball to start the second quarter. Trent for 3. Rebound to go to Bogdanovich. Clippers, if they push, they can go 2 for 1. Harden, is he aware? Indeed. The 3. It's good.
Nice.
It's first shot.
I love
really
James Harden pull up in transition, man.
Lob to Jones coming out of the timeout for the flush.
So we just seen Derrick
Simmons
Jones
looking over the floor, and there's the back pick taking place. Going up in the air.
Man, I just believe
DJ finding it, and
I believe DJ should have started. Honestly, just that element that you see right there, the high flying live ability. I mean, come on, man. Like, you gotta give James Harden that. Give him more weapons. Him and Zoo next to each other. It has the defensive. The defenders having to be honest.
finishing it.
We talked about his day. Maybe blocked by Simmons, recovered by Zoo. Simmons Jostling with Porter Jr., who dives on the floor. Loose ball is up for grabs. It goes to Leonard for the easiest bucket of the year.
You see how, let's look at that again. You see how he thought about jumping before he jumped? That's an indication that Kawhi is injured, bro. Like, something is wrong. Like, look at this. Just look at this.
It's up for grabs. It goes to Leonard for
The
the easiest
hesitation.
bucket of the year.
Just the hesitation before the elevation.
Consecutive games on the
He's
road
alarming,
started last
bro.
week in Utah.
Look, Kawhi.
Leonard inside finds Dunn.
Look how he's not.
To Zoo, and he makes the grab and shoves it in.
Giannis ran it down, got a piece of it clean.
And then an errant pass, this time
Nice
Coffee
pass
on the
Kawhi.
refill to the rack and flushes it in. And it's a quick.
I didn't like Kawhi movement at all during this game. None of his movement. Everything looked like it was tense, like it was a struggle. I didn't like it.
Timeout for Milwaukee.
It goes Milwaukee right back at him, but this time all by himself. Giannis nowhere near him.
Zoo inside, counted on a foul. It's the second on Giannis. And Sandy Ivica Zubac to the line for the old-fashioned three-point
I think
play.
he should have fouled him intentionally again, don't you? Watch him roll.
And going back to the game in January against Milwaukee, 34 for 34. Lillard in overdrive, blocked from behind by Zoo. Ahead to Coffee with Lopez to beat to the rack.
Nice.
Oh, respect the drip.
Watch this block shot late. Big man Zoo gets it, then the pitcher head pass, and near Coffee making sure it doesn't get blocked from behind that time.
Nice.
Oh, escapes the defense of Lopez.
Why?
Can't put it down.
Why?
Done with the rebound.
See, those are Kawhi's signature go-to shots, and the elevation is just not there, bro. That's scary. It's scary.
Out inside. Kawhi for three.
Even
Bucket.
that, look.
And the Clippers.
Now that shot went, it looked good, but it was super forced. Did you see how Kawhi had to jump off 2 feet and like it? Just look at the motion in the shot. It's not his signature flow of his shot. Both shots. Let's relook at this.
That's
Leonard. Oh, escapes the
Right
defense
off
of
the mid-range.
Lopez. Can't put it down. Done with the rebound inside.
Look at
Kawhi for three.
Oh,
Bucket.
God.
And the Clippers take the lead here in the third.
right. I think the one guy you see the turnover
Look,
there.
this is the play right
finish
here.
Leonard around the defense of Lillard, lays it in.
No way,
Kawhi
no
Leonard
way.
with 17, and a timeout for the Bucks, who trail by 5.
And I wouldn't
Thought
be
that was an
surprised to see
outlet
Doc
pass.
Rivers try to draw something up and
Reversed
get
it.
Dame Lillard involved. It's just 1 of 7 from the floor. Watch what the defense.
7th turnover for the Clippers. They have forced
Here you go, right
13.
here. Here you
They have
go.
forced 14.
Watch,
Leonard
watch.
with Trent to beat to the rim, and in.
Ah,
Counted on a
look
foul.
at it.
Kawhi with 19, and
Look
the
at
meter is still running.
Lead out.
The thing was,
Watch him come
Kawhi
down.
had the defender on his
Look at his
back,
face.
so the pass was on the sideline that it
show
had to be.
Martin picked up by Kuzma.
Let's read.
Had the defender on his back. The thing was, Kawhi had the defender on his back, so the pass was on the sideline that it had to be.
Down a little awkward.
Martin picked up by Kuzma.
That's hard to dance.
Gets around him.
Dry.
Maybe a lob to Zoo. He comes up with the rebound and punches it in.
Those were matched up. He gets up into James there, standing straight up. James is going to go by him.
I didn't think we
Like I
had
just said.
personnel to
Nice
match up
second
with
effort there
the
by
whole night.
Zoo to throw it.
Clippers have their hands on the wheel, but a long way to go. Leonard invited baseline.
Where we could
Spins, fades, fires, and fills it up 22 for Kawhi.
That's watch Kawhi versus Green. A little bit
Now
of a
that's the
fade on
movement
that.
that I like. I like
The Clippers out
Kawhi
in front
moving
by
like that with that
11,
type of flow.
91 to
But
8.
as you see, we're up 10.
Bogdanovich plays back to Simmons off the window
We're up
and in.
10
Ben
in
Simmons
the
with
fourth.
4 points.
You can see.
You see, we're up 10 in the fourth right now with this lineup. You got Kawhi, Bogey, Ben. Like, there's no reason at this moment in time to take Kawhi Leonard off the floor. And if you're going to give him a quick rest, minute, 2 max, get him on the floor.
Release was higher, therefore the finish, and there's the drop-off pass. See if they go back again to that zone.
Nice pass.
Nice pass, nice
pass.
finish.
The way to cut
And
by
we'll
Ben.
watch, okay?
You need Ben to be
Ball goes to
aggressive like
Kawhi.
this. This is
And
what I'm
watch the
saying
defense
by
take
Ben
place.
being
You see
aggressive.
all the open space right here as Kawhi
Going
has the
into the cutting
basketball.
lane,
And then all of a sudden,
being
with a
in the
cut,
dunker
a
spot,
backdoor bounce pass,
finishing
Simmons with the reverse layup.
This is what we want from Ben.
And the right guys are handling the ball for Milwaukee.
And that'll do it, folks. That will do it.
Bogdanovich to 3.
That will do it. That will wrap this up here. This is your boy Active, giving you a conclusion. As you know, we lose. We are headed to Indiana. I will be giving you a post game reaction, also highlight post game interviews, so on and so forth over here on this channel. If you enjoyed yourself, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button on the way out. Just giving some more Clipper Insight news, LAC news over here on this channel. I appreciate you guys over here, man. You guys supporting this channel. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. Go ahead, make yourself known in the comment, and round of applause for y'all on the way out. The motto over here is to stay activated at all times. You know it. Keep your family first and stay dedicated to your craft. We up out of here. See you till next time. Clip City, man. We'll bounce back. Let's go.